Good here. Hey, we had an earthquake today. It was a 3.0 off the coast of New York. Okay, here's the map. Here's New York. Here's the earthquake. It was a 3.0. USGS has got it at that. That's our government agency that watches these things and records them. There's other world agencies that do it too, and they tend to be higher. Whenever you see an earthquake happen, you go to USGS, say it started at a 3.4. By the time they put it into the official directory, it'll be like a 3.0. They usually always drop it down. I don't know why. I have my theory. My theory is that they're trying to buffer the number. What that means is if you get so many of them that are raised, say they're 3.5s and they're supposed to be 3s, they used to be 3s, you take an average. Well, if that average goes up, then the general public will be aware that the intensity is rising. And rather quickly. Okay, they don't want that. Just another way of control. And that's why I'm even bringing this up. Okay, so they want these numbers to stay low. The other global agencies don't tend to do that as much. Sometimes they'll drop it down, but it's usually not as low. So I don't know what the reasoning there is officially, but I can tell you that was my thought on that. But why are we even talking about this? Well, it's in a really weird location, okay? We don't normally get them here. And again, I got to emphasize it's only a 3.0, okay? I've had farts bigger that caused bigger shaking. I'm just saying. Sorry about that. But yeah. So that's why that is, okay? But why are we talking about this? Well, if we go over to Dutch Sense and Suspicious Observer, Planet X News, Scott over there, who else? Mr. MBB3, BP Earth Watch, they all kind of put out watches when they think something might happen. Okay, Dutch Sense is really, really good at this. Okay, whether you agree with anything else that he's doing or has done, he does have a really good track record of predicting and all those kinds of things of where it's going to be, how large, what time frame. He keeps track of all that, and his record is very, 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 very good. So I would encourage you guys to go check that out. It's really interesting. Anyway, I'm not as educated on this part, so I'm not going to really speak much more on this because I'm trying to get better educated so I can at least help others understand. But I don't want to put something out there that might be incorrect as far as when it comes to stats and all those kinds of things. So, but what causes this? Well, basically, guys, the sun is a very, very strong influence on earthquakes. Whether you want to, it's kind of hard to put that together, but it's basically about our connection to the sun magnetically. That's a very basic way of saying it. I will say that when our connection changes to the sun, it does. Our watches always go up for earthquakes and stuff like that. Well, right now I'm going to take you over here to Soho. Okay. Now, this is planetxnews.org. This is where I go to get my links. Okay. I would come here, guys, and just read these articles. Scott does a really good job on these articles. Dr. Alber's articles gets posted here. And again, I've said this a lot, but I keep saying it because this is really truly what I do. Okay, so we'll go over here to Soho, which is right here. All you do is click on the link, guys, and there it is. Okay, remember yesterday I was telling you Soho sits out in front of the Earth and looks at the sun. So this is actually the perspective of where we're standing. This is what the sun looks like. All right. Here's the sunspot everybody's talking about. Okay, and it needs talked about because it's very, very big. Again, 5 years ago, this sunspot would be multiplied like 7 or 8 times out here. Right now, they basically call this a blank disk. That's the terminology that they use. Okay, if you ever hear that, that's what they mean. They mean that there's no sunspots. They call it a blank disk because when you look at it, it looks like a blank disk. Okay, so this is a big one here, guys. Now, why do we even pay attention to this? Okay, because when this comes Earth facing, okay, this is getting closer to Earth facing. Where would Earth facing be? Earth facing would be right here. Okay, because we're looking directly at it from this satellite. The satellite's in the same perspective as we are. It's just sitting out in front of us a little bit. Okay, and SDO would be the same. This is SOHO, SDO. Those are two different satellites, but they're basically in the same spot, moving around a little bit, but they basically have the same perspective. Okay, and I'll go into further detail here in a minute. But when our magnetic, when this thing gets over to here, Earth facing, you would think that we would have some sort of magnetic. I'm not going to say disruption. We might see some stuff magnetically. Okay, is what I'm trying to say. So take that for what it's worth. Also, when our magnetic connection gets broken to the sun and it reconnects, sometimes we have earthquakes and stuff when that happens. But I do think that this has something to do with weird locations of earthquakes, volcanoes, upticks, and all that. Okay. Now, again, like I said, guys, when we got to watch this. Now, what are we watching for? Well, we're watching this because these big sunspots like this is normally where we see the bigger CMEs come from. Okay? You got to think of it this way. This is how I think of it. You have a negative and you have a positive, right? Well, the sunspot's no different. It has a negative and a positive. Okay? As long as they're happy, okay, they can coexist. But they're always drawn to one another because negative and positive, it's magnetic, right? They're trying to, at some level, get closer. Okay? When these things touch is when bad things happen. Okay? So what am I saying? Well, picture this. Go outside, get some jumper cables, connect it to your battery. Now, don't go do this, okay? I'm just saying this is just an example. You connect it to the battery, and then you take the two open lines and you smack them together. A lot of us have done this unintentionally, and it sends off a pretty big spark. Okay? So that's exactly what the sun does. When these two negative and positive meet, that's what happens. A spark happens. So it sends a solar flare, and if it's big enough, it'll take plasma from the surface and eject it. Or mass from the surface, I should say, if you want to get technical there. That's why they call it a coronal, which is the corona of the sun. Takes some of the mass from the sun and ejects it. Okay, coronal mass ejection. That's seriously what that means. Okay, so why are we worried about it? Well, we're not really worried. That's the wrong word. We're just watching it. So just say if it got to here and it had the positive and negative decided they wanted to meet right here and it was in this location, well, that would be directly Earth facing. So that means we would get a direct hit from this thing. Okay, now if it was to have one right now sitting over here, we would catch a glancing blow. Now, if this sunspot was around the back side, we still may see something from it, maybe nothing very big. But the reason why is the rest of the planets are still connected to the sun. So if we're connected to the sun, they're connected to the sun. When something comes off of the sun, it's going to affect every planet in the solar system in some way. Although it may be very, very minute, may not even notice it. But it does happen. You can see the uptick and stuff in our magnetosphere. You see anomalies happen. Okay? Now, again, 5 years ago, we probably wouldn't even be having this discussion because these bigger sunspots, and make no mistake, guys, this is a pretty big one. It seems to be acting okay. It's not like it's very volatile, but, you know, it is what it is. The surface of the sun was riddled with these 5 years ago, okay, which in turn made the sun brighter, and it was, you know, the corona was way out here, all that, okay. So what's happening, guys, is, you know, if the positive and negative meet, that's when we got to pay attention. That's all I'm saying. So all this magnetic stuff going on could have been partly of what caused this earthquake off the coast of New York. They use this as part of their predictions into their models. They use it as a data point. Okay, so with that being said, there's been some stuff that we've been seeing. Okay, Scott sent me some pictures today, and I'm going to show them to you. Okay, but I put some other stuff together here too. Now, I'll just take you over here and show you these real quick. Okay, let's go to, this tool is, okay. Now, I seen this on Lasco, okay. This was yesterday. Okay, you see what I'm saying here? All right. No sooner than I seen this, guys, the same thing happened. Lasco quit updating. It hasn't updated since. If you read up here, it says 6 hours missing data. Well, it's still missing. It has never updated yet again. So this is twice that we've seen something there. Maybe not in this exact position, but we've seen something and then they shut this stuff off. That's what's going on here, guys. All right. So we start looking at this stuff, right? Okay. I seen this. Well, first, this was back in 2007. That was Scott. Scott got that off a cactus. Okay, which basically is coming from the SOHO observatory, okay? It's the same perspective as a SOHO, so we're looking at the same spot on the sun. Seen that, okay? Then it was that. And then Scott was going over some SDO stuff. Look at this. Guys, look at that. Okay? In the exact same position. Okay? Something's orbiting our sun that way, guys. These are multiple years and multiple months apart. For that to be in that position, it's not a coincidence. I just want to say. Great job by Scott over there catching this stuff. He overlaid some of these imaging just to try to help us understand a little bit more. I mean, look at that. It doesn't get more clearer than that. Again. Okay. Now, what else do I have to add to this? Well, I'm going to take you to Lasco right now. Oops. This is the seed site. Now, Lasco C2, the red imaging, is updating on ISWA, and I'll take you over there in a minute. But this is before we've seen this object. Okay, watch this. And I mentioned this in my video yesterday, but it comes into play even more today. This would be the location of that object. Okay, remember yesterday what I was showing you guys? This, see how most of the energy is going this direction? Well, if you look right in here, it's moving that direction, and it's kind of starting right here. So watch this. I'm going to circle this right in here. You seeing that moving the other way? Look at that. Right in that spot. So what's going on here? In my opinion, there's something there. The sun's reacting to it, and that's why this energy is going the wrong direction. Okay, it's either giving or robbing energy from the sun here. Okay, that's what's happening. And we're also seeing, and I'm going to show you something. Okay, I'm going to go to the next day. So this would be the 7th. Okay, first thing, did you guys see that shoot off? See that shoot off? This is all in the general vicinity, guys. You're seeing flashes. You're not seeing much over here on the sun right now. Everything's happening right over here in this quadrant. Okay, and if I slowed that down even more, I mean, you're going to see, guys, you're going to see it moving backwards again right here. I'll just leave it right there. It takes a minute for it to load. But did you see that? I mean, my goodness. I mean, I guess I'll zoom in a little bit better so you can see it. This is actually probably the better one. You guys can, if you look right in there, watch it. You can see it moving the wrong direction. Okay, and again, I said this yesterday. The sun that's the surface of the sun. So for this energy to be way out here and to go back the other direction would almost take something there to help it. Okay, sometimes when the sun has CMEs, it'll shoot a filament out like this and it'll get out and not that far. let's redo that. Probably more like, this is the surface, so it'd shoot it like a filament out, and then the gravity of the sun would grab that mass back and pull it back to the surface. That happens sometimes, okay? But for it to go out this far and then come back is very, very odd. That's all I'm saying. If it can get escape velocity, that's when the ejection actually happens. That's when you'll see the ejection. So, and you got, again, watch right here. Okay, see it moving backwards? So, given that, all right, these were all the days prior to, okay? Now, this is the last imaging we got from this. Now, we can still go over to ISWA and look at this view. It's updating there. But they're not letting us see this view, okay? Why? If they have the data, why can't they input it to this and let us see this, okay? I mean, there's no reason not to, unless they don't want us to see something. Okay, this is the last imaging that we got. Now I'm going to slow this down a little bit so you guys can see it. Okay, sometimes we see it better moving faster, but sometimes we see it better moving slower. Now, first thing I'm going to show you is look at the timestamp. Okay, that's all we're getting. We're not even getting 2 hours worth of data on this day, which was yesterday. And we're not getting any data from it right now. Okay, so if we go up here and we look, right in here, okay, if you look close enough, guys, that object is there. It's not moving. It's not going out with this energy. It is there. So it's not a fast mover is what I'm saying. This one isn't. A lot of them are. This one isn't. Okay. I mean, look at that. Okay. And it, like I said, I can stop it at any given time here. Let's stop it at, well, let's just do that. Okay, we'll go up here and look at it. What's it look like now? Okay. And you don't see much there because everything got real bright. Kind of washed it out. Something happened there. Okay. So we'll do this. Now what do we see? Again, same exact spot. Energy coming off of it. It's going to stop here and go back the other way. But watch. I'm going to go to the next image. Sorry about the moving around here. I just want to zoom in for you so you can see better. Let's zoom out there. Okay. Now, go to next. Previous. Is that the one? Kinda. Maybe it was the one before that. Nope. Probably the one before that. What? Are you kidding me? Anyway, look. There it is. Okay? I mean, I don't think I really had to say much more there. Okay? I mean, stuff just ain't right. And then they shut it off, okay? That just, so many things happened right there to prove that that's something there. I just have a hard time believing that it's not. And, you know, that is what it is. We're going to leave it at that. And again, I got to go in reverse. But, yeah. So, but yeah. Guys, I mean, we got to take that into consideration. That's why stuff's happening. All right. Anyway, guys, I'll come back with you tomorrow. I got some more. Thank you, guys. Please keep sending pics. I'm getting a lot, and I'm getting a lot of good stuff. And I'm putting together videos right now, guys, and I think you guys will enjoy them. It's good stuff. Thank you guys so much. Really, I do really, really appreciate it because it makes us all see more things and the more things that we can see. Oh, something else before I get off here. I'm going to start compiling a list of channels that are under 1,000 that like the live stream. And I'm going to start leaving the links, at least to some of those channels, in my description. And the reason why is, even if you don't agree with those channels, and I don't agree with some of them that are under there, okay? But what this is it's kind of a fight against the censorship, okay? They're choosing who can live stream and who can't. It is their platform. It's their right. We can't fight that part. But we can sure as heck tell them we don't like it, okay? That's just part of what we do. And again, you know, if they're going to take it away from somebody that has 1,000 subs, and this doesn't even affect me, guys. I don't live stream here on my channel. Hardly. I don't think I ever have. But who's to say next time they'll say, well, now you have to have 10,000 or 50,000. Okay, then what happens? Okay, so don't think it can't happen to your channel or a channel that you watch, that you like watching their live streams. Okay, so we need to get everybody above that so we can still do what we need to do. That's just my opinion. So if you guys have any ideas, shoot them over to me as far as what channels need to be included in that. I can't see them all, obviously, but, you know, it's like John Boy. By the way, John Boy, thanks, man, for giving me a shout out on your channel today, too. After I did you yesterday. I mean, that's great. I'm glad you appreciated that, man. You deserved it. That was a great pick. All I have to say, guys, he took that picture like 2 years ago, I think, is what he said. I thought it was just taken like yesterday or the day before, but that really doesn't even matter because it's still an amazing capture that I still would have done the exact same thing with. Because I didn't even really tie it to any kind of time frame. I just wanted to show you what we were seeing. So, you know, and he has a bunch more. He was showing another channel. I think it was Applesauce. I need to go check that channel out. But I you know, I don't know if she's over or he is over 1,000 or not. But I'm going to go check that out. But then you got Tales of Blue-Eyed Indian. You got who else is under 1,000 right now that likes to live stream? Ashley McCormick. She's a good Christian girl that does stuff. You guys really need to go check her out. But anyway, I'm going to start doing that. So just look for that. All right, guys. Jeff P., give you a shout out too, brother. Hey, stay strong, man. God bless. Scott Sion, for sure. Thanks for sending all that stuff over, bro. Seriously. All right, man. God bless everybody. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.